Hey guys, welcome back to another AMP to Authenticate update video. I'm really excited to share with you today our first video authentication tool. Since its initial release, AMP to Authenticate has been the most complete tool for authenticating and attributing digital images. But today we're finally introducing one of the most sought after requests for AMP to Authenticate, and that's being able to handle videos and authenticate videos as well as images. So the first video authentication tool that we're going to be introducing is the PRNU analysis for video. A quick reminder then of what PRNU is. PRNU enables us to authenticate and identify the source camera for a video or image that has been created. So now that we're introducing the capability of using it on videos, you're going to be able to identify whether a video came from a certain device. So once you download the new update of AMP to Authenticate, you're now going to see this video tools tab, and at the moment we've got the PRNU video tool in there. So let me walk you through how you can use the PRNU tool to authenticate your videos. So like the image PRNU tool, the video PRNU tool is going to work the same way. So the very first step is that we're going to need to create the CRP of our questioned device, whether that's a mobile phone or a standalone camera. We're going to have to create the CRP specific to that camera. As a reminder, the CRP is the camera reference pattern, and this is how we're going to identify that camera, by looking at the reference pattern. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to create the CRP first. So we're going to go to the video tools and then PRNU and then create CRP. And then here we need to put in our reference video. So this reference video is going to be a video that's been taken on the device that you're looking to question. And this is going to be your reference video. And from this, we're going to be able to create the CRP and analyze the sensor noise. Once you've chosen your reference video, then we can go and choose where we're going to save our CRP. So I'm just going to save this into my Authenticate folder. And then you'll see some other settings in here. There's the first frame and the last frame. So if you've got a very large video, you may want to crop that video, so you can select a range here. And you also notice that we've got two different modes: using all the frames or grouping frames together. I'll show you both of the options, but for the first creation, we're going to use all the frames. Now this takes a lot longer to process because you're using all the frames individually. However, this is going to be the most accurate way to create your CRP. Now you see that it does take a little bit of time. In this instance, it's taken around 6 minutes to create it. And then we're going to get this notification that the CRP has been created successfully. If we go back to that folder that I selected to save it in, you'll see we have the CRP file in there. And then we've also got this log. And this log is just the method that we used to create the CRP. Now I mentioned there were two ways to create the CRP. The other way of creating it is by using a group of frames instead of using all the individual frames. So in the mode, we can change it to group frames. It's going to be faster, but you're going to have less accuracy with that CRP. So this time you can see, rather than 5 minutes, it took around 30 seconds, and we're going to get the same output. So we're going to get a CRP created and also that log of how we created that CRP. So nobody creates the CRP just for the sake of it. We're going to be creating that CRP from our known video from the device so that we can compare the CRP to our questioned or our evidenced video from that device. And this is going to be the identification process. So now that I've created that CRP, I can use that and compare it to our evidence video and determine whether that video has come from the same device that I just created that CRP from. Okay, so let me show you how to do the identification phase. So we're going to go to the video tools, PRNU identification. In this dialog box then, I first need to load that CRP that I created. I'm using the CRP that I created from using all the frames in the video. I'm then going to select my evidence video, and then I'm going to use the mode as use all frames and click run. And this is going to start that analysis for me. So now that I've clicked run, it's now going through the processing stage. So this is where it's going to be comparing that pattern noise from the sensor to the noise in the video and see if they match or not. And it'll give me an either a positive result or negative result after the processing is complete. Okay, so you can see that the process here is taking just under 4 minutes to do. And once it's completed, I'll get my identification dialog box open. So my results are here. You can see I've got the information about the CRP file I used, the information about the evidence file I used. If we keep going down here, we can see the compatibility, and here I'm getting a negative. So this is telling me that my evidence video most likely didn't come from the same device that I created the CRP from. Now this is either because the video wasn't taken on this device, or maybe the video's been tampered with. And this is what we're going to then go into our next stage for, where we can then decide if this has been tampered with, and that's why we're getting this negative result, or if it's just come from a complete different device. Okay, so we're going to go on to the tampering stage then. So as I just mentioned, we can use the PRNU tool using our CRP file that we created to then determine if a video has been tampered with, mainly if the video has been spliced with another video. So to do this, we're going to go to the video tools, PRNU tampering. We're going to load our CRP file like we did before. And then for the evidence video, we're going to load that same evidence video. It's going to do the exact same process that we've just done, but this time it's focusing on detecting the tampering. So the output that we're going to get is slightly different. So once I've selected both of them, I'm just going to click run. This is going to be a little bit of a faster process than the identification phase. So you can see it's going quite quick here. It's going to take roughly around 20 seconds to do. Okay guys, so once our processing is finished, we're going to get 2 boxes loaded up. The first one's going to be our tampering results. And in here, we're going to get the reference CRP file information, the evidence video file information. And if we look at the important section here, number 11 and 12, we'll get the number of frames above the threshold and number of frames below the threshold. The other box then is our tampering analysis. Here you've got the red line which shows us our threshold. And what this is indicating to us is that the first third of this video came from the same device that our CRP was created from. And then this middle third, where it's below the threshold, is telling us that this part of the video came from a different device. And then finally our last third, that also looks like it came from the same device that our CRP was created from. Okay, and then the second part of our update is that we've increased our QT database. So if you want to look at the database, all the QTs that we have, you can view all QTs in database. Here I've chose the group of the internal camera, and you can see that we've got over 14,000 different quantization tables there at the moment. And with every update, we're going to continuously update this. Thank you again for joining us on this update video. I hope this helps introduce the new video authentication tools, and I hope you're as excited as we are to introduce them. If you do need some more help on how to use these tools, we've got a great article on the blog showing you in more depth how to use them, and also in the product manual in Authenticate's manual that you can access within the software. You'll be able to see an in-depth guide on how to use this new video tool. Thanks again, guys, and see you next time.